So CopilotKit has been building for several years now, and they have done, their AGUI framework or protocol has been really taken off. They have open sourced it. You can use it to bring human-in-the-loop interactions to to anything that you're building, to your agents. So I'm going to ask Tyler one question before I hand it off to him. And Tyler, what does CopilotKit do better than anyone else?
Yeah, that's a loaded question. I think that CopilotKit is really thinking a bit differently in the AI space right now. I think a lot of stuff that we say internally is everyone's squeezing agents as hard as they can to get as much value out of them as we can. And that's a noble pursuit. And we want to make that even easier with CopilotKit. And one of the ways that we see that is through a term that we use internally called Agentic UX, the user experience of interacting with agents. And what are the ways that we can, with our users, make agents better and guide them to better experiences. So that's what I would say is user experience of agents.
Okay, very cool. Looks like you're ready to go. So everyone join me and give Tyler a warm welcome to the stage.
All right. Hey, everyone. So I am Tyler Slaton. I am from the great state of North Carolina. I'm very far from home. I'm visiting for this conference, or not this conference, but this talk, among other things. I'm a part of the founding team at CopilotKit. I've been there for about a year, and yeah, that's what I've been doing for the last little bit. Before that, I was working a lot in the open source space, mainly in Kubernetes. I got a little bit bored of that space, so then I moved into the agent experience space. So what are we going to be talking about today? So I want to talk about agents. It's a pretty hot topic. But I also want to talk about something that I don't think a lot of people are thinking about, which is the user experience, the usability of these agents. What is it like as a person to actually go and interact with these pieces of software that we're building? Then I want to introduce you to CopilotKit, and I want to introduce you to AGUI, and really what we're actually doing there to simplify this process for everyone. Then we'll wrap up and answer any questions. So quick audience check. This is something that we do at basically every one of these talks. But who here is building an agent, just generically an agent? Okay, like 20 people. How many of you are building with a framework, an agent framework, like LangGraph? Keep your hand up if you're LangGraph. All right. What about Maestra? Anyone using Maestra? Okay. Agentic AI? Cool. Yeah, so there's a lot of agent frameworks. And they are all basically scaffolding around LLMs to improve that process of usability. But what is an agent really? And I think that this is something that we can sometimes forget, is that agents are realistically just software, right? This is from IBM. They had an article on what is LangGraph, and this is an architecture diagram that they drew. And if we look at this, it's really just kind of a finite state machine, essentially. There's an input start step. There are a couple of nodes that we go to, and then we end on some sequence. And we kind of repeat this forever with an agent, right? There's some nuance to this. If we're building what we call a workflow, you just kick it off and it's semi-autonomous. That's a little bit different, but we call these turns. From start to end, it's one turn of the agent, right? But yeah, one thing if you want to leave with one takeaway, that's all. Most people here actually are not building agents, but if you're thinking about agents, what are they? How can I get started? They're just pieces of software, and realistically, you can get started really easily. If you know how to program, you can build an agent. But let's think about some great agents that we use today. How many of you have used Cursor? Basically everyone. How about Windsurf? Any Windsurf stands? V0? Manus? I'm a big fan of Manus, personally. Claude Code is also on here. This is a little bit of an old slide. Anyone using Claude Code? Yeah, great piece of software. What are some of the things that these applications do that is kind of unique to software? Well, one thing is that they respond early and often. When you go and you interact with these pieces of software, they're really long-running tasks, right? And so if you're a user and you stare at a loading screen for 30 seconds or a minute, you're going to get frustrated. You feel like nothing's happening. So these great agentic products, they respond early and often. Another thing, and we were talking about, everyone's squeezing agents as hard as they can. What are some things that we can do to kind of make that easier for agent builders? Well, one thing that we interact with a lot is working alongside the user, what we call human in the loop. If you're thinking about Claude Code, you can steer Claude Code very easily. You can say, hey, that's a terrible way that you're doing it, do this way instead, or I like what you did there, do more of that here. Another thing that it lends itself to is chat as an interface, right? Chat is a very, very broad interface. It's not very discoverable by default. And what are some of the things that these applications do to kind of bridge that gap? Well, you have the at terminology, right? You can say at my file, or you can bind in some tool and you can specifically call that tool. There's a lot of things that discoverability loses when you have a chat interface that these applications all do really great. They also work really well across devices. Who here has played with the new cursor beta for agents in the cloud? You kick off a cursor agent. Yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. Manus does this really interesting as well. You can kick off a workflow. That's going to be a long-running process. And then you can pick it up on your phone and you'll see notification. But they kind of work everywhere, right? They meet people where work is getting done. And then finally, a bit of a repeat, but I just wanted to emphasize that they're easily steerable and interruptible. So if I'm working with Claude Code, I can easily interrupt it and say, you're doing that wrong, do it this way. Or if I'm working with Cursor, I can stop it or guide it. And yeah. So how can we do this for any of our applications today that aren't Cursor or that aren't Claude Code? What if we want to add it into, say, Linear, or we want to add it into the productivity apps that we use today? What are some of the ways that we can do that? Well, that's what CopilotKit is founded on, and that's what AGUI is seeking to bridge across the entire ecosystem. So what is CopilotKit? CopilotKit is infrastructure for building AI copilots, or another way to put it is user-facing agents, right? So if you build an agent, you want to let your users interact with it, and that is what we build. We're open source. We've been getting a lot of traction over the last couple of months. When I joined the company, we were at 8,000 stars, and now we're approaching 30,000. We work with some of the top Silicon Valley unicorns, all the way up to the Fortune 100s. And we're also the company behind AGUI, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So if we're looking at the current landscape that's basically forming around agents, where does CopilotKit fit? Well, at the very bottom, you have LLMs, right? You have OpenAI, you have Gemini, you have Anthropic, all the great local models. And agents are built around that. They're essentially a LLM in a box, as I usually put it. You encapsulate your LLM and make it do the things that you want it to do. And that's where agent orchestration frameworks come in. That's why orchestration is used here, is because you're orchestrating LLMs and complex processes to ensure that you're getting optimal results. So, some of those in the ecosystem: LangGraph, CrewAI, Maestra, AI SDK, Llama Index, some of those great pieces of software. And at the very tippy top, all the way up there, you can see us. We have CopilotKits, and then really we have AGUI. And AGUI kind of sits between both CopilotKit and the agent orchestration frameworks. And we'll get into that in just a second. So what are some of the use cases that we have seen at CopilotKit from some of the people that we work with? Really, it kind of boils down to two categories. There are SAS Copilots. There are basically big pieces of software that want to do productivity improvements inside of their application or make their agents be able to go do things for the user. And there's also co-creation copilots. This is more like the V0s of the world, where you're building something alongside an agent. So I want to give a demo of both of these things. And I only have one hand, so I've already pre-written the prompts. But this is an application I built with the ADK recently. I don't know if Mark is usually here. Is Mark here? There he is. He worked in our community to help build the ADK integration, and this is actually our first demo of it, so you'll get a sneak peek. But I built this. Obviously, I'm not a UI designer, but I built this in probably like an hour using the ADK plus some of CopilotKit. On the left-hand side here, you can see this is the chat interface. On the right-hand side here, imagine this is something like New Relic or some kind of dashboard for analytics. I'm going to click send here. There's a lot of data in that request there, but basically I asked it, search the internet for pizza sales, create some metrics for that, and then I want to add some charts. So now I came up with this chart. This is using rechart, and then I just had the LLM generate the data. And right here, this is what we call human in the loop, right? So we have monthly pizza sales. Maybe I think that is awesome, so I'm going to click on add, and it pops up in my dashboard. Or maybe I think this weekly pizza sales is terrible, so I hit cancel. It doesn't show up in my my dashboard. And so that's kind of a simple example of human in the loop. This is kind of the productivity, the SAS Copilot, for lack of a better term. And yeah, this is all super easy to do with CopilotKit. We'll get to kind of like how to get started with it in a little bit, but I mentioned ADK. We also have support from all of the big agent frameworks, and we'll get into how we did that in a little bit. But this is also bidirectional. I can delete stuff in here, and then the agent's aware of all of that as well. Okay, another kind of small demo I'll get into. This is more of the co-creation canvas. So I use this little application called, it's escaping me, but it's a travel application, Wanderlog. Great application, love that piece of software. And so I was kind of inspired by, what if I could just say, hey, Wanderlog, plan my trip for me. So I built this as one of my first projects at CopilotKit, and this is like the co-creation. You can see there, it's searching the internet. That's using Tvili, shout out to Tvili. And then it is building this long list of plan for my trip to San Francisco. If I scroll back up here, I can give it some nuance, right? I can say, I am a nerd, and I want to write code while I'm in San Francisco, so recommend me some places. So it came up with some places here. I don't know anything about San Francisco, so you guys tell me if this is good advice or not. But once I click on add, it's going to update my UI and show me this trip. And all of this is completely LLM generated, but I'm just rendering it using CopilotKit essentially. And I have a bunch of infrastructure to make that process easy for me when I'm interacting with my agent. Behind the scenes, this is using LangGraph, and the previous demo that was using ADK. All right, let's move on. So how does this work for multiple frameworks? You heard me mention that this works for LangGraph, works for ADK, along with a lot of other things. Well, that's where AGUI comes in. AGUI is the user interaction protocol for agents. I forgot to say agents, the agent user interaction protocol. We released it a couple of months ago to really powerful reception. And actually, we had another powerful reception earlier. This is actually kind of out-of-date slide. But we had a recent launch with a bunch of stuff that kind of accelerated our growth there as well. But this was originally an internal protocol to CopilotKit, so we didn't set out to make a protocol. And we just made it open source and made it easy to work with for agent frameworks, and we had a really great reception to that. So with CopilotKit and AGUI, AGUI has really emerged as the standard solution in the ecosystem to build agentic applications, or agent-native applications, as it's sometimes put. We have first-party integrations from across the ecosystem. CrewAI and LangGraph, those are our originals. And then we abstracted and made generic the protocol. And then when we did that, we got Maestra, AG2, AI SDK, and Agno along with that. And it's continually growing every day. We have a community member here that goes to all of our talks. They recently added the ADK, and it expands over time. So what is AGUI? I'm going to say 4 bullet points, and then I'll explain them. But it is an open, lightweight, event-based protocol for agent-to-user interoperability. So let's go through each of these. Open, that just means that it's open source. Lightweight means that it is not heavy to implement or utilize. We have a client-server architecture where if you are a server emitting AGUI events, you can listen to any client, or any client can listen to you, rather. And if you're a client, you can listen to any AGUI-compatible server. And that's all event-based. So we have a set of 16 standard events that you utilize, and then we have break glass solutions for any other events you might need. And this really opens up the capacity to do agent-to-user interoperability. So if we look at the landscape right now, there's a bunch of protocols. I think that when we released AGUI, there was a lot of protocols coming out as well. So where do we see ourselves as fitting in the current protocol stack? Well, you have MCP. Yujon mentioned MCP. How many people are actually working with MCP? Yeah. Really interesting piece of software. The way that we see that, it's really for 3 things, and this is kind of expanded over time, but it's for context for your agents, the model context protocol. It's not even context for your agent, really, it's context for your LLM. That includes tools, prompts, and resources. And then there's A2A, which is for agent-to-agent communication. So this is for, maybe you want to have interoperability of your agents across a variety of different frameworks or just across different agents inside of your company. That's what A2A is for. And then for AGUI is for actually shipping this to your users. OK, and we use this slide quite a bit. It's actually out of date. Most of the stuff in the in progress section has been finished for a couple months now, but we just need to update this slide. But it's what we usually refer to as taking an m times n problem and making it an m plus n. So if you're thinking about LangGraph or just model primitives, you would have, and you wanted to build an application in React, you would have to bridge the gap of the LangGraph internal protocol, submit that to your UI, and build an application on top of that. But then what if you want to build a mobile app, right? Maybe you use React Native and maybe that solves your problem, but maybe you want to do something closer to the hardware using Swift or Kotlin or something like that. You're going to then have to repeat that work when you go and build that application, all of the internal tooling that you built to receive and render those events from the LangGraph, you have to repeat all that work. And so what AGUI does is make it so you don't have to repeat that work. We have also from our community member here, Mark, a Kotlin SDK that would allow you to build inside of a mobile application natively. And we also have TypeScript, Python, and a couple other ones that are coming soon, like Rust, Golang, and a Java SDK as well. So how does it work? This is a little Excalibur I drew a couple months ago. And it kind of illustrates how this works. On the right-hand side here, you can see that we have an example stream of AGI data. Realistically, this is just standardized sets of events that allow you to build user interactive agents. So for example, you can see there we have delta streaming. You see there's 2 text message contents. Those will have a delta of the data. That's for performance reasons. You don't want to send all of the agent's message all the time. You just want to send the deltas and combine that in the UI. And then that compiles into a message end at the end. You see there's a run start and run finished, and there's a lot of generic kind of events in between for things like tool calls and state, and we'll get into state in a second. But yeah, it's a set of 16 standard events. It's easily transferable by any method. So right now, our clients, use SSE, but this can also be done over sockets. It can be done over just standard HTTP. You can kind of go anywhere by any protocol. And then, yeah, it's that client-server architecture. So you can see on the right-hand side, again, pretty out of date because we don't have all of our first-party integrations over here, but there's kind of 2 types. There's middleware, where you convert server-based events and into AGUI, then allowing you to ship to any clients. Or your server just natively emits AGUI events like Llama Index does. So that is my talk. I was expecting 15 minutes. I got an extra 5. So if you want to get started, you can go to docs.CopilotKit.ai or docs.agui.com, and they will have getting started guides for you. You can get building with applications. You can go build your own integration to your own agent framework. I know most of you aren't using agent framework. AGUI is compatible with you if you wanted to start building an application, and then CopilotKit will let you build a UI around that agent. We have a Twitter at CopilotKit, and Atai, as our CEO, usually gives this talk, so his Twitter handle is up there. I don't have a Twitter, but I do have a LinkedIn, so you're welcome to follow me there. Meet me after the talk, and I'd be happy to. Do we take talks at this, or do we take questions at this talk? Is that okay? I don't see anyone saying no. Does anyone have any questions? Happy to answer. Yes? There's a lot. What's my favorite? There's a lot that I can't talk about due to NDA, and a lot of those are my favorite, unfortunately. But from our community is actually Mark here. He built AGUI into his glasses. Basically, all of his wearable tech speaks AGUI, talking to one ADK agent, his watch, his glasses, more, his phone. And he gave a great talk about that recently at one of our AGUI meetups. And by the way, we have AGUI meetups every so often. Follow our Lima calendar if you'd like to be part of that. But yeah, I think that that's it's awesome example of what we want to ship. Using AGUI right behind you. The guy right behind you, he uses AGUI with a Kotlin SDK that he built to have a mobile application. So we also have a lot of React Native applications because CopilotKit is the React client for AGUI, right? And so we have a lot of React Native applications. Again, can't talk a lot of them due to NDA, but yeah, a lot of really cool applications there. Anyone else? Doesn't even have to be about CopilotKit. If you just want to talk about agents, I'm here. All right, give it 4 seconds. Cool. Well, thank you, everyone. That's been my time. I've been Tyler Slaton. Thank you so much for listening to talk today.